I hadn't expected a knock that early, especially not one that rattled the frame, not one loaded with 2 decades worth of guilt. But I stayed where I was on the couch, one hand resting on my daughter's hair as she slept in my lap. She had cried herself into exhaustion the night before, and the truth was, I had been waiting for this moment far longer than she'd even been alive. "Open the damn door," my father bellowed. He finally knew, and I finally stopped pretending. It had all started with a short, icy text. "Beta, things are tight these days. We won't make it to her birthday. Tell her we love her." I stared at the screen, at the lie wrapped in false affection. I typed one word back. "Sure." My daughter looked up at me, clinging to that fragile hope only children can hold. "Are they coming?" I forced a smile, the kind that feels like it might crack your teeth. "No, sweetheart. Nana and Nanu are busy." But a week later, on Christmas morning, my sisters post-lit my phone. Balloons, ribbons, expensive gifts scattered everywhere. My parents laughing like pain had never touched them. My daughter whispered, her voice barely there, "Did they forget me again?" And something inside me finally stopped shaking, stopped bending, stopped begging. It simply went still. I didn't shout. I didn't make calls. I didn't demand explanations. I just began preparing. There was a time I believed I was the fortunate one. Dad used to introduce me as his pride. Mom would say I was a responsible child. I thought that meant love. I thought it meant fairness. But when my sister broke things, I cleaned them up. When she failed exams, I became the excuse. When she ruined relationships, I was the one who got the late-night calls. I assumed they valued me for keeping the family together. Turns out, they only valued that I never asked for anything. The signs had always been there. Forgotten birthdays, skipped school events, promises made and broken without hesitation. But that Christmas post? That was the first time my daughter saw it for herself. And the first time I admitted the truth. They hadn't forgotten her. They had dismissed her because she was mine, because betraying me was effortless. I still didn't confront them, didn't yell. Instead, I opened a folder I had been compiling for 2 years. Messages, bank transfers, voice notes, photos, evidence of every manipulation, every act of favoritism, every instance of financial exploitation. Not to threaten them. No, to free myself. I sent one final message in the family group chat. From now on, please direct all communication through legal channels. I will not be attending family gatherings. My daughter will not be treated as an afterthought. Then I blocked them everywhere, including on the doorbell camera. But I did one last thing, quiet, deliberate, final. I sent copies of the folder to the extended family WhatsApp groups they adored, to the community leader my father constantly tried to impress, to my sisters-in-law, who already suspected something was wrong. No captions, no commentary, just the truth. By 9 a.m. the next morning, the collapse had begun. Their polished reputation, the thing they cherished even more than my sister, was crumbling fast. Dad's business partner forwarded me a screenshot. "Your father won't stop crying. Whatever you did, everyone's saying you exposed everything." I didn't respond. Silence was part of the strategy. And then came the pounding on my door. My father's voice cracked through the morning air. "Open the door. You ruined everything." I gently shifted my daughter onto the couch, walked to the entrance, unlocked it, and opened it just enough for him to see my face. The same eyes that won search exam halls for his approval. The same eyes that scanned crowds for him at school events. The same eyes he had avoided just yesterday when he abandoned my child. He stared at me, angry, desperate, exposed. "Why would you do this?" he rasped. I tilted my head, slightly. "Funny," I murmured. "That's exactly what she asked last night." He blinked. "Who?" "My daughter. When she realized you replaced her." His breath shuddered, and for the first time in my life, he understood. I wasn't the easy one. I was the patient one. He pleaded. I listened. I didn't budge. When his words finally ran out, I closed the door. Not in anger, in certainty. The latch clicked, and my daughter stirred awake. "Who was it?" she mumbled. No one important, I said, and for the first time it was true. I sat beside her, smoothing her hair back. We weren't abandoned. We were finally free. And if my father wanted to know who had taken his place in our lives, the answer was simple. I did, the moment I stopped needing him.